That was probably one of the first questions. So who else? Is it just you and your mom, or is there any other siblings in the house?
No, I'm the only child. So she has two dogs, and then I brought my own dog, Axel. So now they're all just playing, all three of them, and then me and my mom. No siblings, only child.
Must be nice. So you basically you get everything basically, right?
Yeah, I don't share.
Yeah, I don't know if people would want to know something like that, but
What do you mean?
um, I went through and cherry picked a few things from going out into the Ethernet to kind of find out some stuff about you to cherry pick some stuff. So because you said that there was no there was nothing
Oh,
that
I
I
said
couldn't ask.
I lied. We'll
Okay.
see.
Well, you can always just say like that and we'll cut it out and we'll be good to go. I'm not, yeah, exactly.
Like,
Perfect. So the first question was, we started that, but were you born and raised in Simi Valley?
no, I was raised here. I was born in Manila, Philippines. I came here when I was turning 15. So, like sophomore year, I went to school here in Simi Valley, Royal High.
Okay.
I went to college for nursing, and then got a job with World Poker Tour. So I've been with the show for about 8 years now.
We skipped over a couple of things because so you went
Yeah,
you went to college for what?
nursing.
Okay. And
Fun.
I'm glad your mom's really happy that you're utilizing that right now.
Yeah, right. Actually, I wanted to go to art school, but my mom and dad thought it would be better if I just went for nursing, and then they're like, you can do whatever you want with your life after you graduate. So that's what I did.
You're in school for nursing. You finished school, yes?
I did, yes.
And then you go, okay, I need a job. So how does nursing parlay you into the WPT?
I've been modeling print work since I was 15, print and commercial. So my agent told me that World Poker Tour is actually hiring, or they have a casting call. It's like a nationwide search for an ambassador spokesmodel called Royal Flush Girls. So I used to watch poker on TV, and also I played home games with my friends. I'm pretty familiar with the whole company and what it's all about. So I was just pretty excited to try it, and then I did. I was told there's like almost 1,000 girls who tried for the same job, and they hired 6 girls, which included me. So I was very excited about that, and it's history from then on, just traveling the world.
The audition did you have to, was it talent driven or was it, I mean, obviously because you're a poker player, that's obviously a huge plus.
No, actually, you didn't have to know how to play.
Oh,
So what they had in mind are actually like 6 girls that would add segments to the show to add like the fun factor to it. Because you watch poker and you see like people. I mean, unless you're really into poker and that's like super interesting to you, but they wanted to attract like more people into it, like younger demographics and the newer ones. So they thought we could do like commercials and stuff for the show and do little segments for fun. And it wasn't really like poker driven, it's more like lifestyle. So we would feature restaurants and properties that we were doing the tournaments at. So that's
okay.
how it went.
Through my little stalking of going through all the stuff on the internet, I found that
Uh-huh.
you had a job at Warner Brothers.
Yes. So I
Okay.
took a year off from the tour, and I had asked them if I could take this job at Warner Brothers working for Fuller House. And I was actually the EA for the main producer of the show, and I wanted to learn the ins and outs of doing production. So, I mean, from beginning to end, I learned how the whole thing works. I was really thankful about that experience. I met great people. So,
So the new version, the newer version that they just
Fuller
came up.
House.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, the spinoff. So they have that at Netflix, and it lasted like I think season 4 now. I worked first season. That was it.
And then how come you decided at the end of the season to move on?
It was just I still enjoy doing WPT tour, and I really just wanted to learn just in case I want to learn more about film. someday I wanted to produce my own show. So it was a great like insight for me to work side by side, but with the main producer and how everything works, which I learned so much in that years. And I was like, okay, I had enough. Like I'll go back touring. Like I was going to South Africa and like European countries, and like basically I was traveling with like my WPT family. So I kind of missed that, like just traveling with the whole tour. So I went back doing it.
I have a lot of ADD, so I'll be all over the place here. But when
I am too. That makes the two of us.
When you go on a trip or something for WPT, you said you have a dog. Where does the dog come with you?
Oh, so he used to come with me all the time. I know. He's like this little Yorkie. I'm sure if you guys follow me on my Instagram, I always like post him or in my story. So I got him a service dog paperwork. I mean, technically, he's like a service dog. Like, he keeps me happy and stuff. So I used to travel with him, but not international because it's kind of hard. But if it's just local, like Florida or New York, I would usually take my dog, and he was just chilling in the hotel, and he's such a good dog though. But now I stopped taking him, so my mom takes care of him when I travel.
Another kind of interview show that I came across, and they had asked you what your hidden talents were, and you said that you were a black belt in martial arts.
Oh yeah, so not many people think that or know that because I look so girly girl, and but I did take karate when I first started. I think I was like 14 or 13, and then taekwondo when I was 15, got my black belt, and then kung fu, stick fighting, and then jiu-jitsu lately, but I just started, so didn't get my black belt yet.
So you're still training?
Yes,
and
I
you
am.
And you train in Los Angeles?
Actually, it's Simi Valley, local jiu-jitsu school. It's a Gracie Academy.
And were you doing that through high school, or through how many years have you technically been doing the martial arts?
My whole life.
Okay.
Basically, it's just nonstop. I just do it when I'm not traveling. So it's kind of hard when you travel and you become an adult, because then you have like things that you have to do and like, pay for bills. So when that happens, I kind of quit, and then I go again when I can or when I'm in town. So yeah, it's not as easy, but I try.
And so how long this time have you been in town? When did you get off your last trip?
This is the longest. I got back from Bali because we had a Philippine tournament in February, and then March I came back because of all this COVID-19 happening. They shut down Bali, which I was staying at, so I came back like end of February, basically. And the plan was actually go until March or so. So I came back earlier. So this is actually the longest I've been home.
Have you heard anything about them starting back up, or what's going to happen with that? Or
yeah, so they're playing it off by basically what's happening, since it's so we're gonna have to know like when the casino will open back up, because that's where we do all our tournaments. Unfortunately, phase 2 right now is not having that, or even phase 3. So they canceled the rest of the season, which was going to be in May for the finale. So we're thinking it's going to go back up. I don't know, and probably not till next year, right? Like if we're really being careful and realistic about it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's more so because I was just talking to a person in Vegas that I'm very good friends with, who runs a couple of big casinos out there, and it's more about I'm thinking about it now. I never used to think about it, but it's like the chips are being passed back and forth between people, and the cards are being passed, but it's like when you start thinking about it, you're like, ugh, that's kind of gross. So I don't know how, unless the poker players are going to wear gloves, or they're going to break out a new deck each time. I mean, I don't know.
I know, right? You don't think about these things. We're doing a lot of online poker right now. So we're heavily promoting that instead of like, the live actual tournament. So we have poker WPT, poker online games all the time. So we're encouraging people to actually do that instead until further notice, when we can actually go back up on tour. So unfortunately, we have no idea until they notify us, of course.
Are you guys doing any sort of live feeds for it, or are you doing any like promo commercials, like any of that kind of stuff for the online stuff?
Yeah, we are actually. So they tell us, like on Twitter, especially, I promote a lot of our World Poker Tour events there. So when they're doing like live, I mean, not live tournament, but online tournament, and then they start at certain times. Sometimes you can play with us. So it's kind of fun, you know.
You're sitting down basically playing poker with everybody. Do they get to see you, or or do they just hear you, or how do you interact?
So I know Lynn Martin, our anchor, is actually doing Twitch while she plays. So that's an option. I have not done that. So when we play online, they just see my avatar and they can chat with me, just like any online poker, but nothing that you can see me from. But maybe I should soon. That's kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure people want to see what you're doing, or you know what I mean, or where you're hanging out, and actually, if it's really you, I mean, that could be a huge thing too. Someone.
Yeah, exactly. But we wouldn't do that to them if we're really like, if I'm announcing I'll be playing, it's really me who'll be playing.
Yeah.
So it'll be good to just play with the fans and friends.
So how are you dealing with your fans now? Are you still trying to engage with them as much as possible, or?
Yes, I'm very active on social media, and I have fan mail, so they come and like write me or emails. I respond to all those. I love hearing from people, especially right now. Nothing's happening and everything's just shut down, so I have so much more time to respond. So it's perfect timing.
All right, let's go to some more of your stalking here that I got.
Oh no.
You were asking, they were asking about compared to other Royal Flush girls, how's your poker game? Meaning the other.
Oh.
So how many girls are in? How many Royal Flush girls are there? Excuse me.
So actually, we grew from the original. We have two guys now. One's from India, but he's British, and then another is from France. And so 2 boys and 11 girls. I think there's 13 of us now, actually.
And
It's
the guys are called what? Royal Flush guys?
Well, you would think they changed the whole name, so it's now Royal Flush Crew or Crew. We didn't want to discriminate against the boys, so
Yes.
So it's growing. It's a growing family. And we do over over 150 tournaments a year, I think. So it's kind of like distributed amongst different ambassadors for the tour stops.
And if you have to go on how do you get picked? Like, I mean, is it a seniority thing? Is it specific things? Like if there's you're not all there at the same tournament, correct?
No. Usually it's 1 or 2 people in one tournament. So like European, we have people from France and people from, UK. So they do most of the European tour. I do a lot of like the LA tours or like the Southern California because I'm in LA. And then they sent me to the Philippines because that's homeland for me. So I got to go. And then we were going to do Cambodia as well since I was already in Asia, but that got canceled because of the COVID-19. So it's kind of like very, I guess, like you really don't know where you're going. That's kind of part of the fun, I guess. Like you just never know where you're going. And they just tell you ahead of time, though. Like we get our schedule for this season in advance, so we know exactly where we have to go. And then schedule other work around it too.
Right. So you know in May or something what your dates are, your dates out. Okay.
Yeah, before usually the season starts, we have like that year, but we have all their scheduled noted, and so we can make plans for all the stops. Because most of them, like we spend like about a week. But then if it's a really cool spot, like if we're in Paris or the Caribbean, you want to extend like a couple more days so you can have like some fun. So we plan around that too. It's kind of good. It's been a great job.
Yeah, it sounds it. So you can extend. So if you're in Paris, you can, they can be like, okay, your flyback date is, the 5th or something, and you can basically change your flight to come back a couple days later.
Exactly. Oh. Yes. And they're very flexible and just really nice about that. So
I mean, I'm assuming as long as you don't have anything, any prior engagements coming up right after that, you can stay as long as you want, I would assume. Yes?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I did in Asia. I was like, I'm just going to stay another month or so since I'm already here. So, yeah.
do you have family out there, or how did you stay out? Did you just kind of backpack it around? How are you staying in Asia?
You would think, right? I have family in the Philippines, but I didn't stay with them. I actually Airbnb because I wanted to go different places, and then I went to Bali after for another almost month, and I found friends, but no, I have no relatives in Bali. But it's a great place. It was my first time. Have you been?
I haven't been.
Oh, you gotta go.
I know.
It's so fun. You'll like it.
Most of my traveling has been for set related stuff going on to, for productions and stuff. So it's not really been, I can't really enjoy it. So, and so, yeah, maybe something in the next couple of years, I'll have to start doing that. But yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. I highly suggest it. It's fun.
And then can you kind of give me a typical, like day for when you just use your last show that you were at, the last event?
Okay, yeah, very busy. It's a 10 to 12 hour usually for filming, you know how it is. We show about like less than a minute of my segment, but it takes forever to do. I wake up and then we have to be on set, basically trying to see who's notables for the poker show. We need to like highlight all those. So we report the daily highlights of like the tournaments. It's a daily thing, and then we do interviews with the players as well, and we just highly like promote the whole event because you want as much people as possible. And it's just really good because you meet a lot of new people, and then you see a lot of familiar faces at the same time. And then every venue just has like their good stuff and like really interesting things to learn. So I do a lot of my own producing work. So I kind of have like to come up with ideas every day, what would be fun to do, or even for interviews or play games with the players that can get them engaged. Because if poker players, they're different breed of people. Poker players are just like in their own little world, That's all they know, especially the full-time poker players. It's like they have no concept of time, as like they probably don't know what day it is, and they just like play all day, every day. So they don't really talk to people unless they're like poker players or dealers. So for us to come in and try to engage them, it's like very challenging at the same time because we could be a little intimidating to them, especially they're not used to talking to girls like us. So one of actually what they wanted when they hired us for World Poker Tour is personality. Like you have to be able to get people to be comfortable around you and just kind of like easy to get along with, because that's kind of important in our job. All I do is talk like every single day. When I'm doing like tour, it's just talking to different people, getting to know them. The more comfortable they are with you, the more, the more interviews and good answers you'll be getting from them. So I need content, and I need like a really interesting one. So it's constantly like spinning the wheels of like, how do I get it out of them? To the point where like I become really good friends with them, get to know these people. So yeah, like overall I enjoy the job and I enjoy talking to people. So it's not a big deal. I talk a lot.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Which kind of segues me into, and you can do this if you don't like it, but have you ever dated poker players before?
Oh, so I made a rule not to, because I realized I'll be seeing these people, and if it didn't work out, then you're kind of like awkward with these people. But they're so nice, though. Most of these poker players are just like the sweetest people of all. I mean, one of the girls actually dated a poker player, still dating, I think, and nothing wrong with that. They're not telling us not to date, but I just chose not to, so it doesn't get awkward if it didn't work out. So that's the answer.
It's just like anything else. I mean, if you're at any job, you don't want to date somebody who you're potentially going to see consistently.
Yeah, your coworker, basically.
Yeah, it's your crew, even your camera guys, your audio guy, any of that kind of stuff. I mean, it's all, it's the same thing.
Yeah, I stay away, but I mean, I have nothing against them. Like, I would date them if they were poker players, if I wasn't working with them.
I want to go back because I have WPT on my TV a lot in my studio. because it's
Oh,
just
nice.
playing or whatever. Just mainly reruns, you know what I mean? But, some new stuff comes up every once in a while. So there's a couple
Uh-huh.
questions about the setup of the show.
Okay.
Still staying in the guys. So you guys go over to a pit area. You're sitting in a whatever, I don't know what it's called, a pit, some sort of pit area, correct?
It's the Royal Flush Girl Bar, but
Okay.
that's all changed now.
Okay. It's
The
the
new
world.
season, yeah, that you're definitely watching the older episodes. So now we don't actually sit; we sit with the audience now, and
Okay.
we basically chit chat with the fans and the family of whoever's on the final table. So it's really interesting because then you get to now we're doing all our interviews around them because we can talk to the players they're playing. So that's kind of fun. And then there's more interaction with the audience and fans too.
And then let's go back to when you were in the pit, because there used to be the poker players' buddies or crew, whatever. They were always sitting next to you. Did you? I'm assuming these guys try to hit on you. They're getting drunk. I mean, how do you?
Yeah, exactly. So they're a lot talkative than usual. But it's good because if you're on a live, like we're doing this episode, I mean, when you see the episodes, they're like the highlights, right? Just the fun part. So when we're filming, it's actually could be 8, 10 hours, 12 hours before it even finish. So the whole entire time we're sitting, and we probably get I don't know, 15, 20 minute break every so many hours. So then we rotate. But the president of World Poker Tour actually was watching one of the shows, and he's noticed me just talking the whole entire time because you don't know which one's going to be captured on camera. But I was always talking to people. So he's like, what do you talk to them about? It's like you're just constantly talking. And I was like, yeah, I learned how to talk to drunk people a lot. And actually interesting because the more they talk, the less boring it gets, because then at least I'm doing something and I'm enjoying talking to people. So that's great. I made good friends with a lot of the wives and all those people. So it's interesting.
And in that that area, when you're talking to these people, is production coming up to you saying, yo, can you keep it down? It's too loud. Or I mean, how do they kind of handle that while you're filming?
So when the anchor's talking, then yeah, they go, quiet on the set. But other than that, Mike Sexton and Vince Manhattan, when they're talking, and now Tony Dance replaced Mike Sexton actually, they have their own microphone and they're kind of shielded from all the outside noise. So we can actually talk. There's really no holds bar. It's we can all talk. And then sometimes they would mic the people even around us so they can hear the audience talking. So it's just, they'll tell us when to shut up basically. But other than that, we just go.
I mean, I guess it has been a while. I haven't caught up to it because Tony Dunn was a correspondent or would
Yes.
talk about that. That's the shows that I'm watching. It's reruns. I know they're reruns, but they're definitely not that. But so you're saying that who left? Not Vince, the other guy. What, he left?
Mike Sexton left. So Tony then stepped up to the role of Mike Sexton, and then Phil Hellmuth took the raw deal for Tony Dunn's. So that's how it worked out pretty much. And Lynn Martin, who's our awesome Aussie chick, she's the anchor for a while now. So it's a good dynamics.
Did they release why Mike left, or was it?
He just said his goodbye. It was in good terms. And it was just time. So he we miss him truly, and he still comes around when we have events and stuff. So yeah, I think he went to party poker.
I think he still plays though. I mean, he still plays in the tournaments, right?
He does. He plays our tournament. He comes when we have special events. So he's part of the family still. He just wanted to venture out to something else. So, and it's been a really long time. It's 17 season with the show.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm clearly watching 15 seasons ago, obviously on my TV, so I don't even know.
Yeah, season 18 now.
Another random production question, because I'm all about the production side of it anyways, is
okay.
So the cameras are on there. Again, I'm watching clearly a season from 5 years ago.
Uh-huh.
You're in the little pit, or let's just say now you're in that. Where is Vince and Tony in they're obviously not right on that floor, because Because they are speaking, right? Or are they right close enough that they're close to the table? Or okay.
Yeah, they're actually really like, so if this was the audience right here, they're just right in front of us, and they have their little, section.
Oh, okay. Because they do speak and they do talk about cards and stuff like that. So it would just weird me out that they potentially the poker players could hear them speaking, or
Well, they don't talk about the actual cards when it's like the final six live. They do that after, you know how it is.
okay.
They'll record the cards because then they didn't want anybody else to hear it. So they do like, they dub it over, or they'll do their little section. But they would talk about the interaction with the players, the audience, and all that good stuff.
So that's a little movie magic, I guess, is what you're saying.
Yeah, because we do live stream as well. When it's live stream, we do a 15-minute delay on it, or is it 5-minute delay? So just, we protect the players and the cards that nobody can cheat. So, yeah.
This one's a random one, but you were talking about your favorite movie, and you said, you said Beauty and the Beast and 50 First Dates.
Oh my God, that's so, yeah. I'm such a child. 51st Date with Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler. I love Hawaii, so I can watch that movie over and over just because like the songs, and it's just so like, like heartwarming and a fun movie. It's like a feel good kind of movie. And then Beauty and the Beast, I just grew up like watching Beauty and the Beast, reading like fairy tale books, so you can kind of tell my personality.
Are you a Disney person at all, or do you go to? I mean, growing up out there,
yes, I watch all Disney movies and such. I love the DC and Marvels as well. So I'm that person. Star Wars, all sci-fi. I'm not actually a rom-com movie, like just once in a great while, but I'm more like sci-fi action or thriller. So yeah, and Disney.
And going to Disneyland, are you an amusement park kind of a person, or Universal or Six Flags or any of those things? Or
I like the Halloween one more than anything. I go to Disney like once every 2 years. I mean, you can only see so much Disney. I mean, when I was a child, every year, yes. But now it's like every 2 years at least, just to see what's new, like the Star Wars new. I have a season pass for Universal Studios just because it's fun and it's closed. So when I'm bored, I just go there with my friends. And then the Halloween night is like my favorite. I like to get scared and go to mazes and all that stuff. Don't you? It's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, so I live close to Universal City.
Do you?
Yes.
Are you in like Studio City, Toluca Lake area?
Studio City, yeah. And so, because I'm old and I need to exercise, me and a circle of friends, we actually have Disney passes too, and we go there and we walk, basically. That's what, we go on the rides, but we also get our steps in with our, with our iWatches and stuff. But
that's a great idea.
I live kind of close enough that I can walk to Universal.
Oh my God, that is close.
So I will walk up that big hill that the tram goes. That's just 3 times a week. I will walk into the park, not anymore, obviously, because it's closed, but I'll walk into the park, and then you know how you have the upper lot and the lower lot where Mummy is, right? I will walk down all those stairs next to the escalator, ride the Mummy or Jurassic or something, and then walk all the way back up the stairs, and then walk all the way home.
Cardio.
I do that 3 days a week. So
you figured it all out. That's better than the gym.
Yeah. And Amazing. It's cheaper, actually, too.
Yeah, it is. It's like $100 for a year, right?
Yeah, it's like $100 and something for the year pass. And and then I don't know what gyms, I haven't been to a gym in a while, but I'm assuming it's still probably like that $20 or $30 a month, yeah?
No, I'm paying like $80. I used to pay like $140.
Oh my God.
I know. So yeah, no, you're doing well. You figured the system out.
And on top of it, you're traveling a lot, so doesn't seem like you're getting there enough either. So yeah.
No. So I bring my TRX with me everywhere. So I just do like in the room or hotel when they do have a nice gym. So I get to do it. But other than that, yeah, it's kind of hard to keep like healthy and like fit when you're traveling because just the food, like you just never know what's around there. And if there's a gym, sometimes it's just a super random place that, they have like kind of crappy type of places. But for the most part, we lucked out. Like we would go to Aria for our finals, like season finale, and then at Luxor, the set is there now actually for the final table. So the esports arena, so that's where we do all our season finale. And they change it too. So all the final tables from previous tournaments. So we keep the final 6 and they battle it out basically around May for the final table. So it's kind of like they have to wait months sometimes to get on the final table and then do the season finale show.
But they consistently play poker anyways. It's not like they're sitting around. I mean, that's all they do, right? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week is just play poker.
Right.
So
it's just that they can't get the first place, second place, third place until they play it out, which could take from weeks to months, depends on when the season finale will be. But it's a lot exciting because it's bigger, like you're in Vegas and it's like bigger productions. It's like a real TV show. It's great.
And I want to circle back to, you said that you work out a lot. So do you eat healthy? Do you eat not so healthy? I
work out a lot because I don't eat very healthy. I try. I don't have any special diet. Luckily, I've been always like skinny and small. So it looks like I eat healthy, but I try to eat healthy. I love sushi. But I love sweets also, so I'm constantly eating chocolate and pastries and things like that.
So you have a sweet tooth, basically.
I do. I haven't grown out of it. I thought when you get older, you just forget about those. No, it's not happening.
No, it doesn't happen. Trust me, I know. So off the subject quickly, what's a good Studio City sushi restaurant?
Oh my God. If I tell you, they'll hate me.
Oh, okay.
Because the locals, I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Because I promise my friends I won't say it because they're like, it's a local favorite. I'll tell you later. You've probably been there.
Probably.
Okay, never mind. I'll tell you guys. It's in Toluca Lake. It's called Kabasu.
Okay.
Have you been?
Yeah.
Okay, so then there's a sister company also.
Okay. That's
across the street. So I think those are the best sushi, like local sushi wise. What's your favorite?
Well, I mean, I'm Studio City, so I go to what's the Katsuya, right? The one right on Ventura Boulevard.
The original Katsuya, right? Yeah.
So I go there, and I'm not a sushi snob at all. So I mean, usually my friends are like, "Yeah, no, that place is not good at all," and I'm just like, "All right, whatever." Like I'm not.
Yeah.
I just like sushi. I like the whole purpose of it and how to eat it and the raw fish and everything. So to me, I'll go wherever. And if people ask me what's the best sushi restaurant, I'm like, I have no idea. I'll eat wherever. I mean.
Oh, okay. You're an easy one.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like Katsuya is always a good to go place for sushi. But I have eaten a lot of sushi in my life. So I even have a friend who's a really good sushi Chef Akira, and he just opened one in Beverly Hills at the Beverly Hills Center Mall. I think it's Akira Back. I think that's the name of it. It's brand new. So you got to try that.
Okay.
And then I'll tell him, like, when you come, I'll let him know. Maybe he'll hook you up.
I do want to circle back to, we talked about the movies that you watch. Are you watching anything in your quarantine? Or are you sitting down watching anything specific or that you're really into right now?
You know what? Everyone was talking about, what was that? The tiger thing.
Yeah, Tiger King.
Actually, you saw it. It was entertaining. Did you like it?
I'm not really, I was just talking to somebody about this. I don't really particularly care for the treatment of animals that way anyway, so it kind of bothers me to watch it. You know what I mean? So I kind of watch a couple episodes, and enough people are talking about it. I know everything about it. I don't need to actually watch the whole series.
Yeah.
So. Are you watching anything else on Netflix or Amazon or?
I started, actually, you know what I love Peaky Blinders, so I kind of missed the last season of it, so I'm trying to do a catch up on it. You've seen that show, right?
Oh my God. I always talk about it and people like, I just don't get it. And I'm like, I don't know. And then do you watch it with the subtitles? underneath?
Yes,
Oh, yeah, you
because
have
then
to.
like I have to rewatch it with the
Yeah.
subtitles, and you can understand. Like I have to watch it twice so I can just keep up because it goes so fast the storyline. But it's great. Nah, I'm a big fan of Peaky Blinders. I was like, it's just a great writing, great actors. I freaking love it. And then Boardwalk Empire, of course, is one of my favorite as well. Ozark, I started watching, so that's what I'm getting into right now. But I just started. I heard it's great. Have you seen it?
Yes, it kind of sometimes if a couple of episodes are bad, I usually tap out, and everyone's like, "You got to keep watching it. It'll get better." And I just
Yeah.
so I tapped out at this time being to move
Oh, you
on. So
did.
yeah,
Okay.
so I'll catch up at some point, or I'll go back at some point because everyone keeps telling me you have to watch the whole full season in order to get it. So
Yeah, that's what my friends are telling me too. We got into like third episode, and I'm like, okay, still going.
but that's the funny thing about Peaky Blinders because actually Peaky Blinders was done years ago. That show
Right.
was, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden people just started picking up on it. It became huge, so huge that Netflix is like, yo, we need to do more seasons of this. So that's kind of how
Right?
that's how that got funded. Do you have Amazon?
I do. I don't know. I've just been watching a lot of Netflix.
On Amazon, there's another one that I keep talking about is Carnival Row.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's with Cara Delevingne and Orlando Bloom. It's actually really
Okay,
good too.
I'm gonna have to check that out starting tonight because we're all so busy every day. But yeah, no, definitely. It's good to know. I'm always like asking people what's good in Amazon or Hulu or, Netflix. It's just so easy on Netflix. It's just always there. I still haven't finished Ozark and all that.
So nightly right now is you guys hang around and play with the dogs, and then around dinner time. What was that?
There's a beetle. I'm like outside. I'm like, oh my God, what is that thing? Okay, sorry.
So you guys, is it coming back at you? Do you need to move, or are you good?
No, I'm good. I mean, I don't know if you can tell. Like, see, this is my mom's place. So I'm just like hanging out. It's like a pool down there.
So your typical day is just hanging out by the pool or exercising or just kind of doing whatever around the house, and then you guys make dinner and watch movies all night. Is that your day to day at this point, or?
Yeah, it's pretty much that's it. But also, I'm doing a lot of researching and reading. So that's also part of my thing. A lot of like self love kind of stuff. Because I have friends that are always asking me for advice for some reason. I'm always that person that they ask for advice because I'm not that emotional, I guess. So they think I'm like pretty decent to ask like touchy subjects. So yeah, no, I enjoy doing a lot of reading and also just in the computer, like trying to find out about this COVID-19 and, hopefully there's a cure and when it's going to end and what's happening in the world. And then also I work with a lot of brands as an influencer for Instagram. So I have to actually create content. So every day there's something that I have to do and they're paying me well. So.
And you're creating that with your phone, or do you have equipment set up there, or?
I do have an equipment set up. So I have lighting and everything, my little mini studio. So yeah, I learned to do my own production and edits and do all that stuff. And photography. You get creative.
Nothing wrong with that. I mean, this is the time to do it. I mean, I've been a drummer since I was 4 years old, and I can play a little guitar. And I decided that I was gonna learn how to play piano. So that's what I've been.
No way! That's so awesome. Yeah, no, legit. I actually have a ukulele that I bought when I was in Asia, and I started playing it too. With just like looking at YouTube and reading notes and learning how to play the notes. So it's kind of fun. So I totally agree with you. Like, go for it. How's the piano lesson? You're just doing YouTube, or how are you learning it?
I mean, I've been in the music business for many, many years, so I have a lot of friends that are in it. So we'll do a Zoom or a FaceTime, and then kind of do that, or they'll text me things. I mean, when I became a drummer back in the day, I had to learn like the rudiments of it, but in order to
Okay.
keep my attention, because I again had ADHD, I had to play a song. So one of my friends is like, "Here's a song that's pretty easy. Learn how to play this song." So I'll just go onto YouTube and learn how to play it and
Yeah,
stuff, and then she kind of tells me these are the chords, so you know what's going on, and kind of explains
that's
to me how everything
amazing.
happens. So it's been pretty lucky that way. But YouTube is great for learning anything, obviously.
YouTube has everything. It's like more than I thought. It's like
Yeah.
you type anything and everything comes up. So it's great.
So hopefully we'll be getting out of this pandemic quarantine soon. What aside from more WPT stuff, what's your kind of goal for this year, or what's left of this year?
I actually am trying to start my own company. So I registered the business name, and the point I was in Bali because I was actually trying to research doing my own line, either jewelry or swimwear. So when I was there, and it was actually getting some traction, but then this happened, so I had to like come back here and then kind of put that on hold. So not only I'm busy with everything else, I'm also trying to learn more about the business, and like it's a great time because I actually have time to sit down and figure stuff out, develop a business plan, try to get more investors, hopefully, and then when it's all open, then I hope everything's ready to go. So that's where I'm at right now. So I'm kind of excited about it too.
I actually had a conversation with a pretty big executive producer yesterday, and we were talking about nothing's happening right now production wise, which we know, but I had a couple of TV shows that were in development, moving forward, and then obviously this kind of happened, so everything's been
Oh
put on the
no.
back burner. And I was
Yeah.
telling him that I actually spoke to the head of the production company on his cell phone in his home because there's no more excuses. He can't say
Right.
that I'm busy, so I could talk to him on the phone, which is a benefit to me because not that I
Right.
need to talk to him. He knows what's going on, but it was actually kind of a perk, I guess, in my world that I can actually, you can see a lot of times that this conversation or this meeting could have been done via email
Right.
or done a different way. So that's one of the bonuses I feel that's been happening in my world for production wise and stuff like that. So
Right. No, it's great. I mean, there's ups and downs definitely with the pandemic. Like now I'm having to spend a lot of time with family, talk to friends, learn new skill set, like play instruments, which I'm never really into before. So I think the downtime's good for a lot of people. But then I get that, money wise and work wise, everything's being like either like not making any money at all, like the restaurants, and I feel bad for them. So I kind of try to order out, even though it's fun to just cook now to support our local restaurants. But yeah, I'll say overall, this whole experience actually like made me think more about quality of life and appreciate the little things more. So when we all come out of this, I think most people will just be happier and like positive about it. I hope.
I'm going to end this conversation on that because that was just beautiful. I don't think you could have ended it any better.
Thanks.
But I wanted to thank you very much for doing this. I appreciate it. I know that you're crazy busy and we've been trying to do this for a minute, and I definitely
Thank
appreciate you taking
you.
the time to do this.
Oh, of course. Thank you for having me. You're amazing.
Of course. And, the show is called Cool, Calm, and Connected because I seem to be connected or what my friends keep telling me. So I always usually say at the end of the show, if you need anything or if you need some help with something, you have my information and, you have my contacts or whatever. So we can always talk about that. And if you ever need anything, I'm here for you. So
Oh, that's very kind of you. I appreciate that. Thank you. And same to you. If you need anything, I'm that person as well.
I'm gonna need some good sushi soon. So that I will definitely be calling you for that for sure.
Oh my God. Yeah. Let's go to Kapusu.
But thank you very much for doing this, and I hope that you have a great day. And I will clearly talk to you soon. Yeah.
Thank you. You too. Stay safe. Bye.